5 observations from yesterday's practice with Joe SHIESTY. Shout out to Dan as always for posting this. Absolutely love Dan on this channel. Absolute legend. Radio voice of Cincinnati Bengals and University of Cincinnati Bearcats. Absolute legend. So, first off, Burrow says this rehab has been easier than his knee and wrist injuries. On a scale of difficult levels coming back, this one wasn't really up there. I was back to moving pretty quickly and was able to get into my strength and conditioning routines pretty quick. My body is in a good spot. Now, based on what I've seen from like different medical doctors who examined his injury and stuff, he got very lucky with his turf toe that I believe it's like the front. There's a certain ligament that he did not tear in his turf toe, which would have severely put him back even longer than he was now. But because of the way he tore it, this is why he's able to come back so soon. So that based on the limited knowledge I have, based on what medical doctors say, it's something to do with the way he tore it was a lot better than other people have done in the past and than he could have. Number 2, Joe's teammates don't seem surprised that he's practicing just 57 days after tearing ligaments at the base of his big left toe. He's like a Wolverine, said Orlando Brown. He's been able to rehab and come back from a lot of different injuries and crazy freak stuff. He was made for it, man. It's unfortunate what happened to him, but I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back even stronger. Is that kind of seems like an oxymoron? Is that the term? Where Orlando Brown does not seem like the guy who should be talking about this when he's his left tackle. He's the blind side, left tackle. And he's the one who has not done his job very well since coming to Cincinnati a couple years ago. He has let Joe get hit a lot because he has failed at his job a lot. So it's weird. It's just weird, and I don't know how to feel about it, that he's the one who's saying, like, oh yeah, man, he'll be fine. He'll come back stronger. Like, Orlando, if you did your job, man, I don't think he would have so many injuries. There is some correlation here between Joe going down with injuries and Orlando Brown being his left tackle. It's not just Orlando Brown. It's the other linemen too. But Orlando Brown is a huge issue on that line. And one, depending on how the draft goes, would not mind drafting his replacement sometime soon. Number 3. I asked Joe if he's determined to play this year, and if the team's records matter. Team's record matters. We'll see. We'll see how the next couple weeks go. There's a lot that goes into it and a lot of variables that you have to consider. We're just going to see how the next couple weeks go and how it feels. And yeah, if we lose the next 2 weeks, if we lose to the Steelers and then we lose to the Patriots, you're probably not bringing Joe Burrow back. At that point, we would have 8 losses. Is it impossible to make the playoffs at that point? No. But it's definitely very, very challenging. So, yeah, and depending on what the Ravens do, if they win the next 2 games, and no. And then the Steelers would also get one more game up on us. Yeah, there's no chance. So, yeah, that was a great response. Like, that's the perfect response to give. Like, hey, if we get the job done the next 2 weeks, yeah, I'll be back. It's kind of how it was since the very beginning. Joe is wearing hardware in his left shoe to protect the toe, but says the injury doesn't have a significant impact on his ability to throw. The actual mechanics of throwing feels good. The front toe isn't very involved in that. It's just for planting, and we feel good about doing that. At this point, it's just running, cutting, twitchy, short stops that we're going to have to see over those next couple weeks. Yeah, that's the one issue. I'd say one issue, but it's an issue with any injuries to your lower body, whether it's to your foot, your ankle, your hamstrings. Your body carries that weight every single day. If you, let's say, for example, you mess up your arm, right? Or you mess up, I don't know, your collarbone. You can somewhat avoid having to use that part of your body as much as you can. Like, you can avoid using your collarbone to a certain degree. If you have, like, you know, a thing in it so that it doesn't move. Like, there's ways to do that. It's impossible, unless you do not move, to not use your feet. You need to use your feet every single day. You need to use your legs, your hamstrings, your MCL, your PCL, your ACL, whatever. If you break a finger, you could not use that hand. You have another hand. So that's always the issue when it comes to injuries, lower body. Because it's like, yes, you know, you want to rehab it, you're rehabbing it, but every time you technically walk, you're putting some type of weight on it, and you're risking it getting hurt or not recovering as fast. But that's the one thing. Whenever you see a lower body injury, you're like, oh, that's going to be a long time. Hamstrings are the same way. That's why hamstrings never go away. I mean, you go ahead and get a hammy in week 4, you might reactivate it in week 7 or 8 because they don't go away, because it's almost impossible to fully rehab them. You're still, you know, using that every single day. Burrow admits it would be difficult for the Bengals to be a wild card team, but says they still have a shot at winning the North. Yeah, I would say almost impossible to be a wild card team. We have 6 losses, and most likely the wild card teams, I would guess, would be the Bills. I think the Patriots are going to win the division, to be honest. But it could be the Bills, Chargers, Broncos. All of those teams, at worst, are probably going to have 5 losses, maybe 6 losses. We lost to the Broncos head-to-head. We don't, we play the Bills. If we lose to the Bills, then obviously that would be GG anyway. So we would have to win out, in theory, to even have a chance at that. When it comes to the division, we do control our own destiny. I know it's crazy to say that out loud, but we do control our own destiny. If we win out, we would be 11-6. That means we would beat Baltimore twice, which would put Baltimore at 5 and... Wait, not 5. They have 5 losses right now, so that would put them at 10-7, which would knock them out of the playoffs. If we win out, we beat Pittsburgh again. We would technically need Pittsburgh to lose one more time in order for us to do that. But if Baltimore also won out, that means they beat Pittsburgh twice, and then we're fine. So theoretically speaking, we control our own destiny to a certain degree. Not to the degree of not to the degree of winning the division, but technically, indirectly. We need Pittsburgh to lose one time, okay? We need 1 loss from Pittsburgh. And we play them. Well, actually, no. I am right. Right? Because, no, we need them to lose twice. We need to beat them, and then we need them to lose one more time. So that they have 6 losses, and we technically take it over them because we beat them head-to-head twice. That's what I meant. Our division is wide open, he said. Pittsburgh is 5-4 at this point, and we play them this week. So everything is still there in front of us. It's very rare that the division looks like this, but it does this year. Yeah. Again, win out. Pittsburgh loses one more game outside of our game. We're division champions. Joe Burrow is 100% healthy, ready to go. He's back and healthy. Today's just not my day, bro. Today's just not my day. He's back and healthy. 100% ready to go. Also, I will have that mock video coming out later today, my mock draft. I uploaded it yesterday, and I don't know why, but I chose the wrong file. So, for whatever reason, that mock draft got all messed up and crap because I chose the wrong file. So, it's going to be coming out later today, the real mock draft video. I know it's a Tuesday, and that's a mock draft Monday video, but listen, crap happened. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. See you guys next one. Peace.